Bible is placed on the stage. Keep an eye on that book. Nobody moves it. Okay. Yes. I don't let it out of my school. Oh yeah. And then the mom's like, they're like, I was like, oh, we type that. She was like, oh, Dave. I don't know. I was like, well, I'm like, yeah, we have to look for grades. And I go, yeah, that's weird. Oh yeah, she was saying that. Yeah, she was saying that they were trying to figure it out. I thought you guys yeah, no, one of them. No, actually,
Good morning, parents. Thank you for signing up our college information table located in our foyer. If you have not visited our table and would like information about college and free books, please visit our table after the ceremony. Parents, welcome to the graduation ceremony for early college high school graduating class of 2023. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones and smartwatches. Parents, at this time, please rise for your graduates.
Good morning. I am Enrique Silva. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Please join me as we say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing as Leslie Estrada will now share the invocation.
Jesus, thank you for the lives of these graduates. Lord, I know that you have an indescribable love for each one of these graduates because you have given me a love for them and for this school. I ask you, Lord, to bless them and keep them. We are on the edge of an unexplored world, Lord, and I ask you to give them the wisdom to find their place in this world. Thank you, Lord. Please help us. We need you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Please be seated as Mr. Simpson welcomes us this morning.
Welcome to Early College High School. We recognize our district leadership, members of the Deming Public School Board, and we want to welcome our families this morning from Deming and Columbus and Palomas, and really family members who have traveled from all parts of the country to be here today for the graduates and the graduating class of 2023. We're so proud of you, and we recognize today that this is not just this moment of graduation, but we're here to recognize the last 4 years of your hard work and sacrifice that have brought you to this moment. We celebrate with you today. And now Reagan Cabrera will come forward for the thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent, members of the school board, district leaders, WNMU leadership, community leaders, Senator Goreta Hemphill, and community members for attending our commencement exercises this morning. We appreciate the use of the Members Valley Learning Center and all the ways you support our success. Thank you for your role in our accomplishment today. And now I would like to introduce Carly Renteria to thank the teachers and staff of ECHS. I would like to take this opportunity to give a thank you to all of the teachers here at ECHS. We have faced many challenges over the course of these 4 years, including a big one that all of us know, COVID. For our sophomore year of high school, we were in quarantine. Sophomore year is when we all took our first online class, and ideally we would be taking only 1 or 2 online classes. But because we were in quarantine, everything was online, and none of us, including our teachers, were eased into this transition. During COVID, we all struggled, and some of us even failed, but we overcame those challenges with the support of our ECHS teachers and family. Each of you were diligent in making sure we stayed on track, and even for those who just stopped showing up to the Zooms or stopped all communication, we never gave up. I was one of those students who stopped doing my work and did not check my emails, but when I was ready to get back on track, you were willing to help. And we were not the only ones struggling, but you were too. You had to work with students who, like me, were not doing our work, and because you are such great teachers, you did not want to give up on us, and we did not. This same attitude was there when we all came back to school. You challenged us to keep going, even though we did not want to. You wanted to see us pass and do our best. Some of you may not know our class as well as others, but we are still thankful. You have encouraged each and every one of us to grow and come out of our shells, and I would like to say that we have, because looking back, we all seem so different, and I hope that it's for the better. I know for me it was definitely better because I got to meet the lovely teachers who have taught me on this long journey, as well as my crazy group of friends who I had the privilege of calling family. And although we are leaving our ECHS family behind, we all know that you will be there if we ever needed you.
So thank you so much for watching us grow. Thank you so much for sticking with us even when we were excited and acted unhinged. Thank you for being such great role models and telling us straight when we needed your words of guidance. Thank you for leading us here and being so proud. Thank you for feeding our minds so we could flourish, and thank you so much for not giving up. Please welcome Kimberly Elias to express her gratitude to our parents. Good morning, parents, teachers, and my fellow classmates. Is it an honor to speak on behalf of my class to thank our parents? I want to take this time to thank my parents personally. They have guided me in the right path, and I would not have accomplished so much without them by my side. Therefore, thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything you have done for me. In my honest opinion, there is really no way to thank our parents enough, as they have guided us into an amazing place. I remember that at first I was excited to start at school that would challenge me, but once I started, I felt like I was not going to be able to accomplish anything. Now that I look back, that feeling is what everyone feels, the first day jitters and the not wanting to fail. Here in this school, we have been shown that with hard work and dedication, we can achieve and go far in life. Early college high school has done nothing but support us and give us a bright future. We should thank our parents for that. Most of us say that our parents forced us to come here. We can say it was with the best intent. Our parents want to see us succeed in life and be what we want the most. Coming into the school with a small class, we were able to make friends that could last out of high school. Like Dr. Bailey always says, we are one big family, and I truly believe that is true because we are blessed to have the support and care that we have for one another. We may laugh, but this is true, or else we wouldn't even bother with talking to each other. There have been many times when I wanted to give up, and some of you might have as well. But here we are today. The class of 2023 has gone through hardships, but we made sure to pull through, not letting the bad things bring us down in confidence. As everyone knows, event happens unexpectedly. I was blessed with the guardian angel who would have loved to accompany me today in this special moment. Everyone in the audience who has been our number one supporter, thank you for joining us, the class of 2023, as we cross the stage today. At any parents will express our appreciation for our parents in Spanish.
Buenos días a todos. Es un gran honor estar el día de hoy con ustedes en nuestra ceremonia de graduación. Este es un día tan anhelado por todos nosotros, la clase del 2023. Personalmente, es un día de mucha gratitud en el corazón. Un día para agradecer primeramente a Dios por permitirme llegar hasta aquí y agradecer a todos los que han sido parte de esta gran aventura. Quiero agradecer a todos los que nos acompañan el día de hoy y también a aquellos que no pudieron estar. De manera especial, agradecer a todos nuestros padres, a aquellos que nos han visto crecer y han visto las dificultades en el transcurso de estos años. Sin duda alguna, se necesita de mucha valentía para ser padre y madre. Gracias por decir sí a la vida. Un padre y una madre son siempre parte fundamental de un hijo. Son un gran impulso en la vida. Aquel padre a que puedes recurrir en momentos de alegría, dificultad, angustia y desánimo. Gracias a cada uno de nuestros padres que nos ha enseñado a ser resilientes, para no darnos por vencido ante las dificultades que se nos presentan, aun cuando nuestras fuerzas no dan más. Un gran ejemplo de su acompañamiento es desde que comenzábamos a dar aquellos primeros pasos, en el cual había momentos de caídas, y es ahí cuando estaban para levantarnos y darnos ánimos. O en aquellas primeras veces en bici, o experimentando nuevas cosas a través del crecimiento. Muchas veces no sabemos reconocer el gran trabajo que hacen día a día por nosotros, y es por eso por lo que hoy queremos agradecerles su entrega y dedicación en todos estos años, porque este logro no solo nuestro, sino también de ustedes. Gracias, madres, por enseñarnos que el amor es la fuerza más grande que existe. Gracias, padres, por enseñarnos habilidades a desarrollar en la vida. Gracias por ser ejemplo de esfuerzo y sacrificio, por ayudarnos a ser realistas. El día de hoy culmina esta gran aventura. para comenzar nuevas. Por todo el ayer, es así que les dedicamos con mucho cariño nuestra mañana. Continúen fomentando en nosotros el deseo de superación y humildad, para recordar el pasado con gratitud, vivir el presente con entusiasmo y mirar hacia el futuro con confianza, como decía San Juan Pablo II. I would like to welcome Juan Ortiz to recognize our alumni.
Thank you, alumni, for returning to support the early college high school graduates. Your continued advocacy for our school is invaluable. After today, the class of 2023 will be alumni, and will be our responsibility to carry the legacy of early college. Thank you. I would like to introduce Eric Granillo as we continue our celebration this morning.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone for coming today and God for helping us reach this moment in life. It is an honor to speak in front of all of you this morning, especially in front of these wonderful people that we call our parents, because without them, we would not be here graduating without their support. They raised us since we were little, and now we're taking a giant leap in life, becoming adults, ready to do big things in life. Early college high school helped us a lot in different ways, learning early how to keep up with college life, but how hard it could get. We did this around a year and a half due to COVID, which made everything else harder to keep up with work. But we did it. It seemed a long way back in freshman year. Now this is the last day in this place. And I'm surprised Enrique came on time today. We started school 12 years ago. Every year we learn new things and learn from mistakes in life. And I can confidently say out of those 12 years, the final 4 years were the hardest to Cornell notes and chair we had to do. We are all going to remember and miss a lot of things from this school, from Ms. Duran's and Ms. Ponga Southern quizzes we struggled with and had to take every week, to watching Band of Brothers with Mr. Allison almost every day. Giving the hardest time to Ms. Lopez, making her quit every day, but she made it through, barely. I can confidently say that from my classmates and me, that we all danced, everyone in the dance competition that we had. I appreciate and want to thank all the staff members from ECHS for always checking up on us, making sure we felt comfortable. We all worked hard all these 4 years. Whatever you do after graduation, do not give up, enjoy life, and live it up to the best. Cannot wait what to see you guys accomplish, and always remember, when you drive to college or work, look out for poles. For the next class graduating, good luck to all of you. And as Michael Jordan said once, never say never, because limits like fears are often just an illusion. Next, Dr. Bailey and Mr. Simpson will recognize those students who earned an associate degree.
It is our honor to recognize the students earning an associate degree from Western New Mexico University. These students graduate with 60 or more college credit hours. Please come forward to receive your cord as your name is called and remain in front of the stage until all graduates earning their associate degree are recognized. Brianda Aliris. Timothy and Ms. Ortiz will announce the top 10 graduates.
ECHS is honored to recognize the top 10 graduates. These graduates have a minimum of 40 credit hours and a curriculum GPA ranking them at the top of their class. Please come forward to receive your card as your name is called and remain in front of the stage until all top 10 graduates are recognized. Brianda Alires. David Cabrera. Leslie Estrada. Pedro González. Abigail Grado. Eric Granillo. Ethel Jimenez. Maureen Mosquera. Jay Nico Albert. Daniel Elman.
One more, please. At this time, Early College High School would like to recognize those students graduating as salutatorian and valedictorian. It is my honor to recognize the salutatorian of the class of 2023, Brianda Alires.
Good morning. It is an honor to stand up here today to deliver this speech. I'd like to begin by taking a few moments to thank a few people that have helped me throughout this journey. There have been many challenges throughout these years, and these people have stood by and supported me. I'd first like to thank my parents for being my biggest supporters and always believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. I would also like to thank them for dealing with all my dramatic mental breakdowns and telling me everything was going to turn out all right when I felt like my world was ending. I would also like to thank my teachers and counselors for expanding our knowledge, and although we might forget the history days, math equations, and where to put commas, we will always remember the advice you gave and the impact you had on our lives. I'll never forget the warm and caring smiles you greeted us with in the hallways and as we walked into class. Nor will I forget the many class periods we spent talking and laughing together. I would also like to thank my friends for always staying by my side and encouraging me to do my best. I want to thank you guys for always being happy for me and making all my accomplishments, even the small ones, feel big. You all have made these past few years the best years of my life, and I hope we will continue to make memories together. Finally, I want to thank God for His guidance and giving me the strength to overcome many difficult situations. Well, class of 2023, we finally made it. Although I started to worry when many of you said you wanted to become super seniors. These past years have flown by quickly. It seems like not long ago we were scared little freshmen who were trying to figure out where we belonged, thinking we had all the time in the world. Many of us came to this school for many different reasons, whether it was because of the small school size, the challenge, or simply because our parents made us. Coming in, we didn't know what to expect, but once we had to do Mr. Dunn's IXLs and Dr. Bailey's Coronel notes, we realized we might have taken on a little more than we could handle. For some people, it was too much to handle, and by the end of our year, our class size had decreased by half. Then COVID hit, and many things went downhill from there. Many of us failed classes, became discouraged, and lost our motivation. It felt like a year had disappeared. And when we came back, we were going into our junior year. During these last 2 years, we had to pick ourselves up and work harder to get back on track. I'm sure there was many late nights trying to finish assignments, nights full of tears, and constant times where you wanted to give up. I know I had my fair share of these times. But we didn't have to go through it alone. We were able to create new friendships and become closer as a class. There's a quote that says, "There are friends, there is family, and there are friends that become family." We have truly become a family, a little dysfunctional at times, but we always come together and have each other's backs when it matters. I consider myself lucky to have met you all and to be a part of the strong bond we created. This year has been filled with unforgettable memories. Senior sunrise, homecoming week, the dance battle, of course, and senior sunset. It saddens me to know most of us will continue this next chapter separately, but I know each and every one of you will do great things. And as I stand here and look out at all of you, I feel many emotions. Joy, sadness, but most importantly, I feel proud to call you my class. This school has challenged us and pushed us to our limits, but we persevered. We could have decided to give up and go to the high school, but we chose to stay and work hard to overcome obstacles and setbacks. Because of this, I couldn't be more proud of you. I encourage you to continue to strive for the best and continue to have big dreams. Never settle for anything less than you deserve, because I know you deserve the best that life has to offer. If these years have taught me anything, it is to cherish the moments you have, because you never know how long they will last or how much time you have with them. I will cherish the memories I have made with all of you, and I want to thank you for these amazing years we had together. To the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, it may seem like your hard work is for nothing, but trust me, when you rock across that stage, especially when you get your associate's degree, you will realize this is what your hard work was for. There is no greater joy than seeing what your hard work achieved, and it might take a while to see it, but I promise, if you keep going, it will be worth it. I also want to encourage you to build relationships with your classmates. Don't stay in your clique or be afraid to talk to people outside your friend group. Make new friends and become closer to your class. This school is way more fun and interesting when your class becomes like a family. Thank you.
It is my honor to recognize the valedictorian of the class of 2023, Soshi Jimenez.
I would like to start by thanking everyone who is here today. Thank you to all the parents and family members that coming today to show support. Many of us would not have been able to get through these 4 years without your endless support and love. I would also like to thank all the teachers and staff who have been here for us these past years. Thank you for always encouraging us to keep going and to always follow our dreams and goals. Thank you for teaching us to always advocate for ourselves and to never let others bring us down for being different. I would also like to thank everyone here at Early College High School for all the opportunities we received. Not only were we able to advance on our future plans, but we were also able to make great memories. We were able to meet new people, make new friends, and make new friends.
Thank you for everything.
I would also like to thank all the other classes too. Often, many of us seniors did not want to participate in school events. We wanted to be done with school and get over all the stress we knew, but you guys never stopped including us. You always encouraged us to be involved in all the pep rallies, spirit weeks, and games very much. Thank you for never giving up on us and always showing your support. Also, enjoy the rest of your time here. Time goes by so fast and you don't notice it. Life is too short to not enjoy it. Don't be too focused on school and don't hold grudges. That will be significant in the future. Go out with your friends, make new ones, and have fun. I would like to thank my parents and family. My parents have always supported me through every decision I make. They also encourage me to do whatever makes me happy and to always work hard and to do my best. I remember when I was a kid that my dad would always make time, even after he worked, to teach my brother and I how to do multiplication. Even though it was basically more homework, we enjoyed spending time with him and learning from him. I also remember that my mom would always try to help me with my homework, but it was sometimes too confusing because she had learned a different way to solve it. She would help me with all the time, and she would help me all the time, and when she couldn't, she would find a way to help me even with all the things she had to do. My parents tried their hardest to give my brothers and I a good life. They have shown us the importance of having an education to have a good life and to do the things we enjoy. They also taught us to work hard and for everything we have. No sería la persona que soy sin ustedes. Todo lo que he logrado lo he hecho por el amor y apoyo que me dan. Gracias por todo y los quiero mucho. I would also like to thank my brothers for always being there for me. I do not show it often, but I love them. When I get stressed and I'm going through a hard time, they are always there to support me. Thank you. And the last people I would like to thank are the class of 2022. I'm a really shy person and usually do not talk to others unless they talk to me. You guys always try to make everyone feel included, so we all have a good time. Thank you for all the memories that we have created. All those nights we spent crying over Miss Uran's Excel. All the times we would cringe at Dr. Bailey for trying to be sentimental, but we actually enjoyed it. All those times we tried our hardest to memorize Mr. Allison's and Ms. Valchek's history lessons, and all the experiments we tried to do with Ms. Apalato, which did not work sometimes. All those times brought us together and caused us to become a family. Thank you for always being there for each other, even when you had other things going on. Some of us struggled more than the others these past 4 years, but you didn't let it hold you back. Many of us still don't know what to do after high school, and it's fine. There is nothing wrong with not having your future plan, but we should learn to enjoy life as it is. We worry so much, and we end up forgetting to enjoy our time with friends and loved ones. Go out, travel, experience new things. Everything you do it with excellence and kindness. Be kind to those around you and to yourself. You are all great people who will accomplish everything you set your mind to. Never let others tell you that you are not good enough or that you can't be great. Every single one of you is a great person and you will change the future for the better. This might be the last time many of us will see each other, so let's enjoy these last moments we have together. I hope everything goes well for every single one of you, and I hope you all live a happy life surrounded by everyone you care about. I enjoyed the time spent with you, and I am grateful to be graduating with all of you. Thank you. The class of 2023 is honored to announce Mr. Frank Benjamin Adriano Allison as our class speaker. He earned a Bachelor of Arts in History and a Master of Teaching in Secondary Education from Western New Mexico University. He is also a football coach at Western New Mexico. Currently, he is a New Mexico history and government teacher. The reason he decided to pursue a career in teaching was so he could help inspire students who, like himself in high school, struggle to find motivation to further their education and become successful. Throughout the years, we have gotten to deeply know Mr. Allison, maybe a little too much. And though we may not remember all the history lessons, we sure do remember all those cahoots and band of brothers episodes. We will never forget the 2 pizzas you still owe us, and how crazy you are with the fans. We appreciate all the advice you have given us these past years and your enthusiasm for Christmas. That Santa Claus in the hall this year was a nice touch. Although we can give you a hard time with all the teasing, we appreciate all the support you have given us. As we step into our new chapters, we will carry the memories and impact you had on us. Thank you, and please welcome Mr. Allison.
I want to thank Haley Reyes for that heartwarming introduction. Thank you. What a good kid and a great student. I also want to thank Mr. Simpson and Dr. Bailey for allowing me to speak today. And I want to especially thank the great early college high school class of 2023 for picking me as their senior class speaker, even though I know they only did it to get me out of my hat. I hope you guys like the view. Enjoy it though, enjoy it, because you guys will never see me like this again. But I want to remind some of you gentlemen, Enrique, Chris, Lito, Eric, this is your future. Karma, all those jokes, all those ball jokes. Again, I'm feeling a little nervous, and it's not because everyone is staring at my shiny bald head. It's one thing to speak in front of a full class of 20 students, but it's another thing to speak in front of hundreds of people, especially a crowd full of scary parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. And I think some of you can relate, right, Mr. Ann? So we are here today to honor the great early college high school class of 2023. Congratulations. You guys have finally made it. You guys are about to experience the real world for the first time. I do have some advice for you guys, though, in living in the real world. Good luck. It's been a crazy 4-year journey. I am proud of all of you. You guys have worked so hard for this. Today, we celebrate you. It only feels right that you end high school in the same room where it all began 4 years ago. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. You were all sitting at the table set up against the wall over there in our makeshift, not so real cafeteria. I did see all the nervous looks on your faces. I didn't blame you though for feeling nervous. I would have been nervous too if I was in your shoes. You had just given up the chance to attend high school in a very nice new building. To spend the next 4 years attending high school in the old Kmart building where I did Shop with a Cop, 7 years old. Yeah. I'm pretty sure some of you guys were thinking, what did I just get myself into? I'm sure some of you wanted to run, but luckily we had Dr. Bailey waiting at the door saying you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Hotel California, the Eagles. Great song, right? The class of 2023 is only 31, but this is a strong 31. We started 2019 with about 50 students, and we've lost a lot since. But we've also added several to the family over the last couple of years. The fact that we've lost so many students is proof that this school is hard. This school is not for everyone. To be successful in this school, you must work hard all the time, have the desire to be here, and have patience to learn. If you're continuing to do those things, college is gonna be a cakewalk. This class, well, first, it's starting to look a lot like Christmas. So this was the first class to meet the Santa Claus. I remember telling you guys that Santa Claus was gonna show up on the last day of that semester. I don't think some of you guys thought I was serious about it. I still remember all the smiles that Santa Claus got that day in December of 2019 while enjoying watching movies, eating good food, and playing the white elephant game. The best part of teaching you guys these last 4 years is actually the smiles that I was able to put on your faces, but also the smiles that you guys were able to put on my face too. No one could see that day that our lives were about to change forever. We returned to school and everything seemed fine. And then we began to hear the first news reports about a deadly virus spreading around China. We break for spring break not knowing that we would be out of school for over a year. And those are some dark days. People were getting sick, people were dying. You had to stay home and attend school from Zoom, and those smiles quickly disappeared. Those are some tough days to witness. It wasn't easy for anyone, but the year passed, and in 2021 we were allowed to return to school. It was nice to see smiles on your faces again. I could tell you guys we're happy to be back at school. So May 23rd, 2003, almost 20 years ago, Dr. Bailey and I, we were in those same graduation shoes, just different venue, the venue that you guys will be at next Friday. I don't have many memories from that night or from that summer. I just remember going to graduation, going to the class act, and then going to college. It went by like a flash. I'm going to give you guys some advice that I wish I could have given myself 20 years ago. I want you guys beginning right now, just to slow down. Slow down, breathe the fresh air. Everything that is happening, take it all in and enjoy the moment for the rest of this graduation ceremony, the rest of the day, tomorrow, the weekend, next week's graduation, the rest of the summer. Because enjoy these last precious moments as a child while you still have them. Okay? Beginning in August, the choices you make are now going to count. Life can be scary. Failure can seem scary. The fear of failure could prevent you from taking risks that could change your lives forever. Don't let failure stop you from being great. Take risks. I'm not telling you guys to go rob a bank, Enrique. You're gonna fail, and that's okay. As long as you don't give up, failure is only gonna make you stronger. Some of the most important people in history failed before they became successful. Abraham Lincoln, one of the best presidents of all time. In 1858, he lost in an Illinois Senate election. And then 2 years later, he runs for president, and he wins. And not only does he win, he also beats the guy who beat him 2 years earlier. I've also failed many times. The first time I ever interviewed, it was awful, I don't even think I was dressed for the occasion. Of course, I didn't get hired. About a month later, I got another opportunity to interview again. This time, I took it a little bit more serious. I opened up my closet and picked out my best $20 professional Walmart outfit. And went and interviewed, I was more prepared this time, and I got the job, and here I am, 10 years later. I didn't let failure stop me from trying again. So again, don't be scared to fail, take risks. Again, I want you guys to always be proud of where you come from. Be proud of your roots. Be proud of your culture. Always remember where you come from. We all descend from, well, most of us all descend from immigrants who come from all different countries around the world: Europe, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, Mexico. People came to this country to live the American dream and to give their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren the opportunity that they wouldn't have got if they stayed in their native country. Always take some time to think about these people. These people could be parents, grandparents, or like me, a great-grandparent. Someone that I like to think about is this little old Mexican man who attended my parents' wedding in 1989. He was born in 1889 in Salamanca, Guanajuato, Mexico, the son of a Spanish father and an indigenous Mexican mother. There was already a 99% chance that I probably should have never met him. This man who couldn't have been taller than 5'3", staring at me as my grandfather, Martin, introduced me to his father. He was 99 years old, and I can remember thinking that was kind of cool because, he was going to be 100. But sadly, he would miss his 100th birthday by a couple of months as he fell ill shortly after the wedding. At 4 years old, I still remember how he looked as everyone were able to say goodbye. And I still remember the tears coming down his face as my mom held his hand. He died later that day. This guy who was responsible for my existence, who I knew nothing about. I didn't know this story. It motivated me as an adult to learn and research my own family history. Along with his parents and siblings, they made a 100-day journey from Panama, Guanajuato, Mexico to Juarez, and then entered El Paso, Texas in 1910. He was living in Grant County by 1920, owned his own home by 1930, and had become a U.S. citizen by 1940. This is why my first assignment for my freshman, which this freshman class was the first to complete that assignment, is the family research project. Anyway, just be proud of who you are and never forget where you come from. Now, usually speakers will end a speech with a quote from a famous person, but I'm going to leave you guys with my own words. It was an honor, a real honor to teach every single one of you. I love you all like you're all my own children. And remember to dream big and eat cheeseburgers. Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Mom, I love you. Early College High School is honored to have with us this morning Senator Cia Correa Hemphill. Her roots were in Vitro, Socorro, Gatron, and Grant County, where her family has lived since the 1600s. Dr. Bailey and Mr. Simpson heard Senator Correa speak at the groundbreaking ceremony for the WMU Deming Health Sciences Center. As she spoke in a conversation afterward, Dr. Bailey and Mr. Simpson were impressed with her passion for and experience with education. This led me to reach out to her and ask if she would share her heart for education with us this morning. She was raised in the small town of Hanover in Grant County at the old T&M Dairy. Her dad, from North Fairleigh and Bayard, was the first Hispanic editor at the Silver City Daily Press, while her mom stayed home to raise her sister, and brothers. They didn't have much, but her parents instilled them in a belief in hard work and helping their neighbors. Like generations in her family before her and her husband have also been successful small business owners. Senator Correa Hemphill has been an educator for 26 years. Therefore, when Dr. Bailey and Mr. Simpson asked to speak this morning, she jumped at the opportunity to celebrate your accomplishment. It is my honor to introduce you this morning, Senator Correa Hemphill.
Thank you, Brian, for that great introduction. I appreciate it. And congratulations to all of you, the early college high school graduating class of 2023. When Dr. Bailey asked me to come and speak, I had no idea that there'd be such a huge crowd here. Look around at all these family, friends, loved ones who are here to support you. We are all here to celebrate you and your accomplishments. We know it hasn't been easy. And I am incredibly honored to be here today on this beautiful Friday here in Deming, where my dad, Richard Correa, was born exactly 77 years ago today. Thank you. And although he is no longer with us physically, I know he would be just as proud of all of you as I am. And I know the incredible challenges that you've been through to reach this point, and it was because of your hard work, dedication, and determination, along with the support of the school board, administrators like Vicki Chavez, and teachers like Dr. Bailey, Mr. Allison, Ms. Apodaca, who I had the pleasure of meeting just today, staff, family, friends, loved ones, people who believed in you, and those who offered you kindness and compassion when you needed it most. And maybe all of those folks didn't do it perfectly. No one ever can. And as a mom of 4, I know that all too well. Not the Eagles, but Taylor Swift. There's no all too well. And maybe they're no longer with us anymore, like my dad. And if that's the case, I hope you think of them with gratitude in your hearts today. Now, I know that you don't know who I am and all the challenges that you had to overcome before you got to this point. So I want you to know, did not happen without value or meaning, because it's the challenges in your life that are going to give your life meaning and help you discover your purpose in life. And for me, there was never more of a profound opportunity to discover the purpose of my life than 23 years ago this upcoming summer. So that summer, my now 27-year-old was just 4 years old. And his name's Nicholas. He was born with a rare genetic syndrome called Rothman-Thompson syndrome. And it's an autosomal recessive trait, so it means that it takes a gene from both the mother and the father, and then you have a 1 in 4 chance of having a child with the condition. There was no history of this syndrome in either side of the family. But when we got the diagnosis, we did our best to research what it meant. And that was well before the internet. So I graduated like over 3 decades ago and didn't have to deal with like trying to figure out how to survive a pandemic or navigating remote learning, even computers or the internet, and certainly not social media or having to learn TikTok dances. But we found a short paragraph that described the syndrome in a textbook, and that's all we had at the time. What we knew was that he was at risk for developing osteosarcoma, which is a kind of bone cancer. So that summer, 23 years ago, he started experiencing some swelling in his left knee and some pain. It was causing him pain to walk. So I had set up an appointment with a doctor and was just dismissed as being, overprotective parent. But he continued to have some pain in his leg. And so eventually I was able to get an appointment in to see a pediatric orthopedic specialist in Tucson. That's a bone doctor. And it was hot. It was July, and I was carrying Nicholas at the time. He was very small for his age, which was it is part of his syndrome. And he was having pain in his leg, so he didn't want to walk. So I was carrying him in. And when we first got into the clinic, they took him to run some x-rays and then put us in a room to wait. And the first person to come in was the young resident doctor. And he was holding the x-ray, and he put it up on the wall where they had that light so you could see the x-ray a little more clearly. And he looked at it for a few seconds and then hung his head and shook it back and forth and mumbled under his breath, 4 years old. And then he walked out of the room. And I was left with just this pit in my stomach, wondering, what does that mean for Nicholas? And I was watching him. He was climbing up on the chairs and jumping down, even though his knee hurt. He was bored and trying to pass the time. So he's just like climbing on the chairs, jumping down. And he had these adorable little blonde curls, and they would bounce when he jumped down. Well, the next person to come in a few minutes later was the pediatric orthopedic specialist. And he looked kind of like Santa Claus. He had this white beard and these eyes that kind of twinkled when he spoke, and a kind, gentle voice. And he explained that Nicholas had osteosarcoma, bone cancer, and he really shouldn't be jumping because his leg could break at any time. The cancer had eaten holes away in his bones. That's why he was having so much pain. And they were going to have to cut it off to save his life. He'd need 18 courses of chemotherapy. And we went home, and I tried to process what this meant for Nicholas and what this meant for our family. I had a 7-year-old daughter who's going to be turning 30 later this month. And I couldn't figure out how was I going to be 3 hours away caring for Nicholas and still manage to get her to and from school, help her with her homework. It was overwhelming. The following week, we made it to his first chemo treatments, and I met the oncologist. Her name is Dr. Bagatelle. She was about my age and had a son who was similar in age to Nicholas, and we really bonded over that year. But she gave me a great piece of advice, and she said, this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, and it's important to take care of yourself. And I did that. I made sure that even though I had to administer round-the-clock medication every 4 hours to Nicholas, I made sure that I was getting as much sleep as I could. I made sure that when I had the opportunity, I was choosing fresh, healthy foods, whole foods, and I was trying to make sure that I got at least a little bit of exercise in every day, even if that meant just running up and down the stairs in the stairwell while the nurse came and sat with Nicholas in the hospital room so he wouldn't be scared. And all of those small, healthy choices along the way paid off, because then